Come on, NASA. You're making this too easy. Here it comes. NASA shares out-of-this-world view of the Ring of Fire eclipse. Look at that. This image was allegedly captured by NASA's Discover satellite. And from the looks of it, it appears that the entirety of North America had Taco Bell for lunch. Come on, truth be told. That's a shadow caused by an eclipse, not some sort of fart cloud. Did you know that most of the people that were on the direct path of this annular solar eclipse didn't even experience darkness? So why would the entirety of North America be enshrouded in darkness? We did not experience darkness on Saturday. Hello. Now this next part goes out to the globies and the lukewarms. Incoming truth bomb in 3, 2, 1. The entire face of this earth is completely lit up. And that implies that the sun is right here. Understand? Then why would there be a shadow over there? The shadow should be in the middle of this image. Uh-oh. Oh, and where are the stars? To put it bluntly, here is New York. And here is LA. Tell me in the comments if you experience complete darkness during that eclipse. Let me know.
Here's a flight route. We're going from Abu Dhabi to Auckland, and it goes all the way over here and then all the way back down. Why didn't it just cut across over here? But when you look at it on a flat Earth map, it's on a straight line, right? I'm going to show you a couple more of these, and then I'm going to answer an objection that you're going to have. Buenos Aires to Qatar. Actually, it was the other way around. This was the World Cup. They were going from Qatar to Buenos Aires, but they went to Rome first to fuel. Why did they go there when they could have just gone here? And the answer is because they went from Qatar to Rome to Buenos Aires, right? That makes sense on a flat Earth. It makes no sense on a globe Earth.
This is the problem with the logic of a globe believer. He thinks that a boat just 3 miles from him is being hidden due to the curvature of the Earth. If he is on a boat in between to other boats, he thinks those two boats are hidden by the curvature of the Earth. What shape would Earth be then?
Now, I get this question all of the time. Why would the world elites lie about the round Earth, and what do they benefit from this? Now, first of all, you need to understand that knowledge is power. If you withhold knowledge like the secrets of the universe and the intelligent design of where we are over the population, then to a degree you possess more power than the population. If you can convince the population that we are on this round spherical Earth that defies all laws of physics, hurtling through space at millions of miles per hour, you are also promoting scarcity, you're promoting the Big Bang, this all came from nothing, and everyone will slave in their system. When in reality, this plane that we live on was intelligently created by God. With abundant resources, free energy, no global warming, no evolution, no Big Bang, this is what it is. Now, if you understood where we truly were, and that we are in the center of this universe, and that God created us intelligently, and that we were all equals, you would never slave in their system. Now, let's take a look at what the devil-worshipping world elites tell you what's going on with this round Earth. 8 inches every squared mile, or 0.666 feet. Here's the speed, the tilt, the Tropic of Capricorn, the Tropic of Cancer. Must just be a coincidence, guys. People are so brainwashed. They're like, oh, they ignore the science over thousands of years. These people are the same people that told you this was good for you. Real science knows that water always finds its level, guys. Gravity's never been proven by science. Density and buoyancy has. And it's time to wake up. You have been lied to your whole life. Peace and...
Hello, I'm physicist Albert Michaelson. My experiment proved Earth to be stationary. Yes, you heard it right. The Earth does not move.
Physics at the time, including Maxwell's famous equations for electrodynamics, was based on the assumption that space was filled with a substance, an ether through which light and other electromagnetic waves would propagate. But all attempts to directly measure the motion of the Earth around the Sun through this ether had paradoxically resulted in an apparent velocity of 0. The stage was set for one of the most important events in the history of physics, the Michaelson-Morley experiment.
1887 Michaelson-Morley experiment. If the Earth were moving through an ether, then a sort of ether wind would be created at the surface of the Earth. A light beam projected directly into this ether wind would be expected to move slower than a light beam projected across the ether wind. If we project the beams across a known distance and then recombine them, we would expect the two waves to be out of phase by an amount that would tell us the distance the Earth had moved.
If the Earth is moving through the ether, then light waves going one direction relative to us should travel at a different speed than another direction. It's like if you're in a fast-moving river and you're swimming along with the current, you're swimming much faster relative to the shore than if you're swimming against the current. So what the Michaelson-Morley experiment was designed to do was measure the speed of light in one direction versus another direction to see how fast we're moving through the ether. And what it discovered was it's the same in one direction as the other.
Michelson-Morley couldn't measure any effect of Earth's orbit, even though the assumption was at the time that that would affect the measured speed of light.
The conclusion directly contradicts the explanation, which presupposes that the Earth moves.
The experiment failed to detect the Earth moving in or against the ether. The problem was serious. Although various solutions were advanced, in the end, science was faced with a choice. Either discard the ether or admit that the Earth wasn't orbiting the sun.
It was a null experiment. They were very disappointed because they couldn't measure the motion of the Earth through the ether. And Michelson himself was extremely disappointed that he couldn't do it.
And the fact that he wasn't able to measure anything was startling to a lot of people.
I have come to believe that the motion of the Earth cannot be detected by any optical experiment.
Then we had the problem that all these measured velocities of the Earth being zero stand unchallenged and unqualified. So the Earth is not moving exactly like the Michelson-Morley interferometer says it's not moving. Albert Einstein himself said that if Michelson-Morley is wrong, then relativity is wrong.
If one day God comes down from above and says, look, these two great theories, relativity and the quantum theory, are wrong, what would I say? First of all, I would say, oh my God, all my published works are wrong. I mean, I'll have to look for another job.
And I've heard people say that the reason they don't want to publish papers that disagree with special relativity or general relativity is that they built their careers on this and that it would be admitting a major mistake.
But second of all, once I collect my wits, I would simply say, but of course. You see, we are approaching truth, but can you actually get to absolute truth?
If you were paranoid, you'd say there's a conspiracy. Whatever it is, there is a lot of resistance to getting something published that disagrees with either of Einstein's two theories.
We live on a motionless plane. No experiment ever conducted has ever proved Earth to spin around the sun. Earth is a plane, and not a planet.
Does anyone else find this strange? That the father of NASA, Wernher von Braun, that developed the Saturn V rocket that took Apollo 11 to the moon, has a Bible verse on his gravestone that reads, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork." Now, why would a guy that believes in space put a Bible verse that talks about the firmament? Well, maybe he knew that we weren't going to space, and we live under something like this. Is Disney trying to tell us something? But did you guys know NASA is a Hebrew word that means to beguile, deceive, lead astray? That word beguile looks familiar. We're in Genesis chapter 3, verse 13. And the Lord God said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat.
Hey, bro. Yeah, bro. If it's so hard to fly through the Van Allen radiation belts, why don't the astronauts just go through the hole in the ozone layer? Bro.
Did you know that Walt Disney used to hang out with former members of a certain unpopular political party from the 40s? We'll call them the Yutzis. True story. Most people have no idea whatsoever, but NASA was really turned into a space agency by this former Yutsi, this science fiction writer, this cartoonist, and this other former Yutsi. True story. Here we have our NASA hotshots preparing for a film called Man in Space, put out by Disney in 1955. Here we have Heinz Haber, former Yahtzee, Werner von Braun, former Yahtzee, and Willy Ley, science fiction writer. Of course you're familiar with Walt Disney, but nobody knows who Willy Ley is, and here he is, The Other Side of the Moon, science fiction. Okay, here he is.
The rocket historian, Willy Ley. Here Mr. Ley explains the operation of a rocket motor to some of the artists working on the picture.
This is an actual propulsion unit from a V2. This strange-looking device is both the heart and muscle of a rocket, its motor.
All right, we've heard from Disney, we've heard from Mr. Ley. Let's hear from Heinz Haber.
Dr. Heinz Haber.
When man steps into his rocket ship and leaves the Earth behind, he must be well equipped to survive in the hostile realm of outer space.
And last but not least, Mr. Werner von Braun, former SS agent under the Yahtzee regime.
Dr. Werner von Braun, who is at present the chief of the Guided Missile Division of the Army's Rocket Center at Redstone Arsenal. He was also overall director of the development of the original V2 rocket.
The training methods for future space flight and the special equipment needed for survival are much like those of present high-altitude flying. And the experiments we are making today are helping us to solve the more complex problems to come.
You may be asking how Walt Disney came to work with these Yahtzees. Well, let me tell you. Operation Paperclip, the secret intelligence program to bring Yahtzee scientists to America. CIA.gov. Here's Mr. Werner von Braun hanging out with his friends. This is Heinrich Himmler. Do you know who Himmler was? Do you know what he did? You should look into him. You see, the U.S. intelligence agency community didn't want the Soviets to get a hold of these Yahtzee scientists. And here they are, being prepared to come into America and work for American agencies and American companies. True story. A quick glance into Mr. Heinz Haber here will demonstrate that, of course, he was quite the supporter of Mr. Schmittler and the Third Reich, as it's known, and that, of course, he came over in Operation Paperclip. Yep. Even crazier, Mr. Willy Ley, German, of course, and together these two wrote a book called Project Mars, where a character in the book was named Elon. True story. Here you can see Willy Ley and Werner von Braun on Project Mars, the master blueprint for man's first trip to Mars. Here we go. And even though Wikipedia references the Elon from the book, here's ChatGPT telling me there's no Elon in that book. Yeah, no Elon. Well, that's interesting. Hold on, let me ask a better question. Isn't the Martian leader in von Braun's book, Project Mars, called the Elon? I apologize for any confusion in my previous responses. You are correct. The leader of the Martian civilization is referred to as the Elon. Here we have the gravestone of Werner von Braun, Psalms 19:1. I wonder what that says. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Why is the creator of NASA talking about a firmament? Facts are facts, people. NASA was not a space agency before these people got involved, okay? Yahtzee, science fiction writer, cartoonist, Yahtzee. True story. Rio out.
Looks pretty real, doesn't it? Welcome to the next generation of warfare where videos, images, and propaganda are created with AI technology. The bottom line is, question everything, even me. I was generated by AI. Looks pretty real, doesn't it?
The world is indeed a stage. Just how much of it might be a bit surprising to you. So you all remember this famous scene right here, the Afghan pullout, that famous debacle? Do you guys notice anything strange about that C-17? Let's watch that full clip and see if you can notice it. Do you see it? Blacked out windows, blacked out engines. Here's a little bit more. See, this is what a C-17 that's not an inflatable looks like. See the windows clearly, see the engines clearly, and now look again for some more fakery. Take all the time you need. Fake news, fake history, fake clown world. We are living on nothing more than a big giant stage. An illusion by those in charge, made to instill fear to easily control the masses or to invoke fake outrage for whatever they want us to. Just wait till you see how fake the clowns are that run the show. Question everything, friend.
Oh, by the way, the images when they showed Bumgardner, where he's prepared to jump, you see this curved earth. That's a fisheye lens, dude. Okay? Fisheye lenses take horizontal lines and bend them convex when you're above the midplane of the photo.
You're getting ready to launch to the International Space Station to be part of Expeditions 30 and 31. Give me a summary of what the mission goals are for your time on orbit and what responsibilities and jobs are going to be yours when you're up there.
Well, I'm one of the science guys and I'm one of the repair guys. And fortunately, there's lots of science and lots of repair to do on station, so that will certainly keep us all busy.
So, give me a couple of examples, if you would, of some of the human life sciences experiments that you're going to be involved with on this flight.
Well, living and working in space go along with doing science experiments in space. And I see two basic areas of work. There's the scientific research, and then there's what I refer to as engineering research.
The Flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Eddie Alenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.